Nate Diaz and Jon Jones were recently hired to appear on a Russian reality TV show, where matters got out of hand after Nate was pushed and shoved by a contestant. The incident occurred in Thailand, where Diaz and Jon Jones were cast as rival coaches for the series, but things quickly turned hostile when one contestant made the mistake of testing the wrong fighter.
Yeah. One, two, not late. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Дальше туда, сколько нас? Брат, дальше туда. Сколько нас? Дальше туда. Подожди, дай, брат, подожди, пожалуйста, одну входу. Я говорю, что так не делать. Эй, иди сюда! Пожалуйста, я тебя прошу, блядь, гань нахуй, блядь.
Salim Yusupov attempted to shoot a takedown on Diaz during a non-competitive face-off segment. The move was reportedly unscripted and didn't sit well with the Stockton native. Diaz retaliated instantly with a trademark slap, and within seconds, a full-scale melee broke out. Multiple individuals jumped in, including members of the show's production crew, according to reports, and the situation devolved into utter chaos. To provide context, Jake Shields offered a detailed breakdown of the entire situation, explaining that Nate Diaz was invited to participate in the reality fighting TV series in Thailand. Nate had requested Jake to accompany him for support during the show, and Jake, being a friend, accepted the invitation.
Weeks ago, I was at UFL 6 with Nate Diaz, that's a fight league in Phoenix, and we were talking, and Nate's like, oh, they asked me to do a reality show, a Russian reality show in Thailand, kind of like the Ultimate Fighter. So, but we have to leave like in 5 days or something, 4 or 5 days. And he's like, do you want to go with me? And I'm like, well, I can't let Nate go out and deal with a bunch of Russian dudes by himself. So I go, sure. You know, thinking nothing was gonna come of it. Then, you know, the next day I get home, I get a text message from his agent being like, can you send me your passport? I think that was Monday, and they're like, you guys are leaving Wednesday. I didn't look up the show, didn't look up who the guys were, didn't really think about it. I had so much work to get done in those 2 days, you know, filming episodes of my podcast, trying to hustle. We were supposed to be gone for an entire month. So the plan was to be in Thailand for a month, so I got my stuff, went on a plane, and flew out to Thailand with.
However, upon arrival, things became increasingly tense. Jake Shields admitted he had overlooked Diaz's long-standing friction with Russian-based fighters like Khabib Nurmagomedov, Islam Makhachev, and Khamzat Chimaev.
Khabib's whole team retired. I smacked up all them up.
Yeah, what happened with that one?
I slapped Khabib in his face because they were trying to take a picture of me, like taking a joke. And I see all these flashes right here, and then I hear them all laughing. Turn around, there's all these Ewok-looking motherfuckers, 20 of them, and they're all turning around laughing. And I'm like, oh, are they taking a picture because I'm standing by them? Before he was champion or anything, he was trying to fight me, but no one knew who the hell he was.
The realization hit Jake when he entered the set and saw that the room was filled predominantly with Chechen and Dagestani fighters, an environment bound to stir conflict due to Nate's relations with fighters of such backgrounds.
I was going through reality show thinking it was Russian TV, you know, forgetting that Nate had had problems with both Chechnya and Dagestan. So with he was in a fight Khamzat. When that happened, there was a big brawl. Khamzat missed weight by like 10 pounds. So backstage there was a brawl before the fight. People don't remember Dana White canceled the whole press conference. I think the first time ever doing that. Also, I'd gotten into it with Khamzat when I was training Paulo Costa. A bunch of Chechens came up talking crap, and I was there with Paulo.
Furthermore, Shields revealed that the producers summoned Nate Diaz and Jon Jones to a couch for a discussion, marking the moment when tensions began to escalate. He explained that fights frequently broke out among contestants, and on many occasions, the show staff appeared to allow these altercations to continue unchecked. Shields added that there were instances when even Jon Jones had to step in to break up fights. At times, the show staff intervened, but often they allowed the chaos to unfold unchecked. He described the environment as unpredictable and chaotic.
The show, it seemed extremely unorganized. People were running around, no idea what they're doing. Eventually, they're like, let's bring all the fighters out. So they sit Nate on a couch and Jon Jones on a couch. This is when things got interesting. Pretty much about half the time they'd bring fighters out, they would just start fighting. And a lot of times they would just let them fight. Like Jon Jones was breaking fights up. He was having to break up fights. Sometimes they break them up earlier. Sometimes they would let people fight. Some people were like covered in blood. It was like, people were like, are they acting? I'm like, well, people are covered in blood, so it's not acting. I don't know, maybe someone was encouraged to fight. It was just completely.
In addition, Shields recounted that a contestant named Salim began disrespecting Nate Diaz and acting tough in his presence. Although Chechen fighters escorted Salim out, he repeatedly returned, further escalating the tension.
The guy came out and started disrespecting Nate. That's when he started acting tough. You know, the videos are going to show this. Our guy Jose went and smacked the shit out of him. But this guy was escorted out by like 30 Chechens, but then he kept coming back in. Then they would escort him out, and then the guy would tell him to leave. So they're trying to act like, you know, a house full of over 100 Chechens, and their boss tell him to leave, couldn't get one.
Moreover, Jake also noted that Salim appeared to be acquainted with Jon Jones, mentioning that they had been partying together and seemed to share a friendly relationship. He also took note that this same fighter, in the previous season of the show, tried to choke Aljamain Sterling.
Nothing too crazy had happened. They walked out 5 or 6 fighters. Things were looking. The fighters had fought each other, but nothing with us. I was feeling a little chill. That's why I wasn't right up there. I was talking to Jon Jones' manager. As you can see, this fighter's talking to Jon Jones right now. Now he shakes the boss's hand. The guy, he seemed to be running everything. You can see here, you know, he's talking to Jones for a while. It turned out, I think, you know, Jon Jones had been out partying or hanging out with him the night before, riding bikes.
As the provocation escalated, Jake explained that when Salim approached Nate Diaz, he began trash-talking and trying to provoke him. The tension escalated as both exchanged gestures, with Nate eventually slapping Salim. Shields admitted he was not paying close attention to the moment, but acknowledged that things quickly spiraled downhill from there.
Yeah, now he's talking to the boss. Now right here he comes to Nate, and he starts saying like, "Oh, I'm a gangster." See, kind of flashing Nate a little bit. You see Nate flashing back. He's there running his mouth. But you know, I wasn't paying attention like I should have been. My fault. But luckily, our guy Jose right there, he's watching. You can see him seeing the situation, and Nate just went and slapped him. So as you see, Jose comes up. Now the guy just started trying to spaz out, acting crazy as people circle him. Like, I didn't know this guy was known for fighting, but bam, you know, our guy just popped him in the head right there. Boom! So he smacked back. Now he hypes up, trying to pretend like he's going to hit everyone.
Frustrated by the constant posturing, Shields reached a breaking point when Salim tried to stir the pot again. Shields acted on impulse. He threw the first punch, hoping to set an example. But as he mounted and struck Salim, several others rushed in, sparking a wider melee.
You know, got fed up, and I went after him. You know, he kind of half fell, half went down and hit him. And I went, you know, to mount him. I was pissed off at that point. I was trying to make an example of this guy so fighters would stop testing us. And right when I started to go off on him, I got just blitzed from the side, not where the fighters was. So a couple guys started blitzing me, which to me seemed like they were crew working there, not fighters, because the fighters were in the chair. So here's where I'm getting jumped. I'm getting jumped on the top side. All the fighters are down below on the chairs. So they tried telling me that the fighter jumped, but to me it was very clear that it was the staff and the workers. So that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, I better defuse the situation, because what you see there is just a small percentage of the guys that were there. He said there was over 100 Chechen and Dagestani guys. So I was like, maybe instead of trying to fight these guys out in an excluded island or a beach, it's better to try to just calm it down a little.
From his perspective, Jon Jones explained that Salim was merely playing around with Nate Diaz and did not intend to provoke him. However, Jones noted that Nate seemed to come in a bit on edge, attributing this to Nate's ongoing tensions with Russian fighters, which may have influenced his reaction. Jones added that what started as playful behavior quickly escalated into a serious confrontation.
Yeah, we had one of our young fighters, a guy named Zadik. He was playing with Nate. You know, he wanted to play fight with Nate. Nate kind of came in a little bit on edge. I think he had some previous beef with some Russian fighters, so he was a little bit on edge when he got here. play fighting with Nate was not the best idea. It became serious right away, and we had to...
On the show's atmosphere, Jon Jones criticized the overall tone of the show, saying he does not see the true spirit of martial arts represented. He described some participants as more like street fighters than professional martial artists, calling the show strange and unlike anything else in the combat sports world.
Bushido spirit for a long time, that martial arts spirit where everybody have a certain degree of kind of like certain rules you don't cross, like a martial arts spirit and everything. And I don't think there's a lot of that here. Some guys are like warriors and some guys are really just kind of street fighters, you know. And there's insults. This show is like, there's nothing like it. There's really nothing.
Shield said that after leaving the set, he and Nate Diaz stayed in Thailand for another 3 days. Despite everyone knowing their location, the same contestant who had caused the earlier issues claimed he was actively looking for them. Shields dismissed the talk as empty noise, saying the fighter never showed up, likely because he knew there'd be no one to stop Nate and Shields from busting him up.
At that point, you know, we spent 3 days right in Patong, the main beach, you know, hanging out. Everyone knew where we were. That's why it's funny. I see some fighter saying he was looking for us, the guy we smacked a few times, saying he was looking for us. He knew exactly where we were. The drivers dropped us off at the hotel. Everyone in Patong saw him there. He's like, oh, if you see Nate, text me telling people. It's like, bitch, you know where we are. The guy is just chasing clout for a TV show. This is the same guy that always runs up behind people and chokes them. But yeah, we just had to chat around a couple of days, and then we're like, we're not doing the show, you know, they were trying to renegotiate something, but it's like, why are we gonna go back and film a show where we're constantly being, you know, we could be, it's one thing fighting the fighters, which that's why I went out there with Nate. I thought it was a possibility some of these fighters would try to test them, but when you have potentially the crew, you know, hitting you too, it's like, nah.
While YouTuber GK weighed in on the situation, stating that Nate Diaz's departure from the show would not make much of a difference, as the series lacks real substance to begin with. GK pointed out that most of the show revolves around arguments and brawls outside the octagon rather than actual competition. He further criticized the show's structure, calling the bouts mediocre and the overall format nonsensical.
Seasons at all. But hopefully Nate Diaz got paid his money and learned a lesson about not taking every single offer that comes his way without doing proper research first, believe it or not. But I guess that's par for the course for this show in general, as it's the Russian Ultimate Fighter in name only. Realistically, it's a mix of every trashy influencer reality TV show in existence, combined with street beefs and topped off with a little dash of go on. Nate Diaz, on the other hand, I'm sure the producers are pissed. I think at least some of this comes from the misunderstanding of who Nate Diaz currently is as a person. Because of his reputation, people expect him to be totally reckless and down to fight at a moment's notice. But he's now a 40-year-old man with a family who strategically uses his image to secure opportunities, but is otherwise relatively chill in his day.
Adding to the confusion, Zalim Yusupov was later identified as the individual riding bikes with Jon Jones, a video that caused backlash online. Fans speculated that Jones might have been under the influence of substances, sparking even more controversy. Speculating on the viral video, Luke Thomas weighed in with a touch of humor, joking that Jon Jones looked like he was holding the guy's hair, like he was horse riding. While the remark got a few laughs, it also fueled growing skepticism about Jones's training habits, raising further questions about his readiness and commitment ahead of a potential UFC return.
Do we ever see Jon Jones fight in the UFC again, or did Aspinall get the Chandler treatment while Jon is sniffing dude's hair in hide? Now, I didn't watch that video many times. I thought he was holding the guy's hair like it was like handlebars or something. You know what I mean? Like no, not the handlebars. I'm sorry, like he was riding a horse, like giddy up, you know, like grabbing, like, you know, the hair. I don't know. Do we ever see Jon fight in the octagon again? It's 50-50 for me. It's 50-50 for me.
Reflecting on the viral footage, the MMA guru didn't hold back, calling the heavyweight division a disaster. He criticized the ongoing uncertainty surrounding Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, pointing out that while the division awaits clarity, Jones is in Thailand pulling off shenanigans. The guru's frustration echoed the growing sentiment that the division is stuck in limbo while its biggest name continues to sidestep real answers.
What is Jon Jones doing in Thailand? What is Jon Jones doing right now? The heavyweight division is a disaster at the moment. We still have no answer on Jones versus Aspinall. And Jon Jones is in Thailand doing this. John, there are some in Thailand that are disguised as women. There are some like loopholes that you could maybe go down the route of. But no, Jon Jones wants the real deal out in Thailand, dude. No disguises, no loopholes. He's for real. May not happen. Jon Jones is coping about this on Instagram Live. People are saying you're ducking Aspinall in the comments, and he's coming back with, I'm just living my best life. You know that normal thing for a father of 4 to do in the middle of their lifetime? At middle age, approaching 40. That very normal thing that a father of 4 children does. Or 3, sorry. I don't know. But is that a normal thing? Just out here living his best life in Thailand, dude. What is Jon Jones doing on the back of this motorcycle in Thailand? Where are his handlers? We have a disaster in heavyweight division right now.
In addition, Guru expressed frustration over Jon Jones spending time vacationing in Thailand while the UFC's heavyweight division remains in disarray. He questioned whether the long-awaited bout between Jones and Tom Aspinall will ever materialize, suggesting that Jones might be in denial about the matchup.
Doing this. John, there are some in Thailand that are disguised as women. There are some like loopholes that you could maybe go down the route of. But no, Jon Jones wants the real deal out in Thailand, dude. No disguises, no loopholes. Handlers, we have a disaster in heavyweight division right now. Aspinall versus Jones may not happen. Jon Jones is coping about this on Instagram Live. People are saying you're ducking Aspinall in the comments, and he's coming back with, I'm just living my best life.
Yeah.
What's this reality he's painting out here? So if he's enjoying life, getting a big old whiff of a man's hair on the back of a motorcycle in Thailand, the 40-year-old father of 3. So if he's sniffing him, like that's him. So while he's doing that and living his best life, you know, that a parent does in the middle of their lifetime, okay? Once he's doing that, he's no longer ducking. How could he possibly be a duck?